Hey people, welcome back to another episode of Keto Cooking with Mama L. I am Mama L. And this is Keto Cooking. We are going to make something real easy tonight, and it's a great way to use up some leftovers. It is a chili relleno casserole, and I have ketofied it so it's not carbolicious like it used to be. So we're going to need heavy whipping cream, 2 cups. That's a lot. It's a lot of whipping cream. I'm going to use meat, which is optional, but what I've got is leftover smoked pork butt. But if you don't have a leftover pork butt hanging around your house, that's okay. You can use ground beef or beef, whichever you prefer. Shredded beef or beef. Shredded chicken, chunked up chicken. I think it would be great with chorizo if you wanted to use that. So meat is optional. This can be a vegetarian dish if you're weird like that. Then I'm going to use some taco seasoning. This taco seasoning is sugar-free, but so they also made it a FODMAP thing, so there's no onions and no garlic in here because some people can't handle those foods. I can handle it, so I'm going to add garlic and onion. So if your taco seasoning has that in there, you don't need to add those. And if you don't have any taco seasoning, then you can make your own. And if you need me to help you with that, just put a message down below in the comments and I'll tell you how to make your own taco seasoning. You're going to need chilies. I recommend whole chilies, but couldn't find them. 1 big can, 4 little cans, 2 medium-sized cans, whichever way you want to work it. These are all chopped up, but if you have them whole, use them whole. That's even better. And then we're going to have 5 eggs. It's a lot of eggs and cream. That's the basis of the whole dish. And then you're going to want about 2 cups of cheese. And I'm going to use a combination of mozzarella and this cheddar blend. But you can use whatever kind of cheese you really want to use. I'm not prejudiced against any kinds of cheese. They're delicious. So about 2 cups, give or take. I'm just going to eyeball it. So the first thing we do, we take our 2 cups of whipping cream. We're going to add our seasonings right to it. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon of the taco seasoning. And then probably about half a tablespoon of onion and half a tablespoon of garlic. And we're going to put our eggs right in here and just whip it up. Easy. 1.
That is some strong seasoning.
2. You just drop some tapatio right in there. It's 3. If you don't have taco seasoning, you could do a little tapatio or whatever hot sauce you have. 4. 5. And then I forgot salt and pepper. Gotta put it in everything. And just keep on beating it. You can use a whisk. Probably the preferred method. Then we're going to put our chilies down. So if you're using whole chilies, you want to cut them in half and like lay them flat. I'm going to spray the pan too. Chilies, they have a lot of liquid in them, so you want to kind of keep the liquid out. So I'm just using a fork. It's okay if a little bit it gets in there, but you don't want all the liquid. So we're just spreading them around the bottom. Like I said before, I like to keep it simple. Make it complicated in your love life. Keep your cooking simple. So you want to spread them around, and then I'm going to put the meat on top of that. And I don't really have a measurement for how much meat I'm going to use. I'm just going to kind of shred that pork and lay it around. So whatever kind of meat you use, just make them in little bite-sized pieces. Or if it's ground or shredded, then just lay it down. Just keep going until you have as much meat as you want. If you've never smoked a pork butt, you're not living. It's so delicious. But we got up and put it in the, I say we, my husband got up and put it into the smoker he got up at 4, preheated it, put it on at 5 a.m. It wasn't ready until midnight. We're gonna do this in layers, all right? So we do chilies, meat, cheese. Cheese, here's my biggest tip for ketoers. If you're new to keto, the biggest trick to a successful keto diet for most people is figuring out what you can melt your cheese on. Next layer. So it's almost like a lasagna. In only the way that it's layered. And there's cheese and meat. Other than that, it's really nothing like lasagna. Okay, so this is looking great so far. Not tantalizing yet though, right? So what makes it tantalizing? More flippin' cheese. Spread it around. Don't worry about where it goes. Just try to get it kind of even. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I don't know how much cheese I'm using. I'm gonna say about 2 cups ought to be enough. Then we're gonna come back to our egg and cream mixture. Just give it a once over, make sure it's still all incorporated together with the seasonings we put in. Pour this over the top. Doodle-doo-doo. Doodle-doo-doo. Doodle-doo. Now you might have noticed by now that this pan is floating. That's the only tricky part to this whole recipe, really, as far as I think. So this is actually floating in the pan below it. So there's 2 pans. That's got water in it. So it's like a egg wash bake thing. I don't know what you're calling it, but it's gonna float in there. So the hardest part is getting this out of the oven without spilling anything into and out of the oven. So I'm gonna open the oven first, 325 for about 40 minutes. So when the time goes off, you want to make sure that this is set solid. You don't want any jiggly eggs. You want your cheese to be ready, but not your eggs. Oh, oh.
Water is spilling everywhere.
I know, it's the hard part, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
40 minutes. 325. See you soon, friends.
Ooh, that looks good.
So my oven's all wet, but my dinner looks good. So this is the finished product. See, nothing's jiggling. It's all solid.
Cut it open, baby.
Nothing's jiggling. So I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit before I cut into it. You just cut it, serve it. So if you have carb eaters in your house, shame on them, but you can chop this up and put it right onto a tortilla for them. How lucky are they? But we're gonna eat this right out of a bowl. I'm gonna put avocado, salsa, maybe some hot sauce on mine. You could do it up with some cilantro. You could do any of your traditional Mexican toppings because it's chile rellenos. Enjoy your dinner. Like, subscribe down below. Tell your friends. And keto on.